All right, sorry about that. Sorry. Oh, this just frustrates me to no end. You don't even know. Ah, we'll hang tight for a little bit. Try to get everybody back on. This is so frustrating. What's up, Leona? Thanks for coming back. Brian, Wesley, thank you guys. Kenny, Dwayne, appreciate you guys coming back. Julie, gosh, man, I hate my internet. It worked okay last week. What's up, Larry? Back in business. Maynard, what's up? What's up? We'll wait a few minutes and let everybody get back on. And I got a couple of more things to cover, and that's it. Christina, Keith, Denise, hello, you guys. Thank you for your patience, man. This stuff is, I don't know why. I don't know if Big Brother's watching, and when I get too excited, it poof, Beatos. Big Brother watching, man. When I get too pushy on the corporate giants, you notice, bloop, same like the last couple of times. That's what happens. Either talking about the county or the state, bloop, go away. Then if I'm talking about Hawaiian Airlines, bloop, unbelievable. Maybe Zuckerberg is a shareholder with Hawaiian Airlines. I wouldn't doubt it. Eric, Johnny and May, what's happening? Thank you guys, the Men in Black. Yes. Awesome, you guys, awesome. Helene, thank you so much. Man, and we got a lot of people on too. Shucks. Dave, let's give it a couple of minutes and then we'll wrap this bad boy up. Are we live again? Yes. What time now? They're watching me. Good. I hope they're watching. See, that's why I do this. I want all those people to watch and, hear from the people what's bothering them. They're watching me. I know. That's cool. Belinda, what's happening? Was it me? Kapaya Power. It had nothing to do with the power. KIUC, you guys rock. This was all about Verizon internet and Spectrum. I'm sorry. Whoops, sorry, Verizon. Spectrum. Linda Ann, hi. They don't can handle the truth. Tony, what's happening? Feed is good now. Thank you, guys. Chemotex, welcome back, Chemotex. Raja. Oh boy. All right, so we're just gonna. Oh, Patsy's back. I guess she's awake. Hope you're feeling better, Patsy. All right, so we're gonna get away from Hawaiian Air right now because I like keep my feed going. I don't like get interrupted again. But this is this one here is not a surprise. And like I said, we only get a couple more things. We only get like 15 more minutes. Nearly 200,000 Hawaii residents living in poverty. The census did a report. They did a study. What's up, Laurie? Thanks for joining us. I know you guys are, man, I'm so irritated. Pops, thank you for coming back. Karen, thank you guys for coming back. The truth will get you silenced. I am living proof, but we will overcome. Again, this Facebook Live, we do this every Wednesday, 5:30 to 6:30. Hey, Lionel, thanks for coming back, buddy. And really, this is to have this discussion, an engaging discussion between all of you, between you guys and myself, and just to try to inform and educate. Hey, what's up, Sandy, my sister? How you doing? And I try to pick the topics that I think may be of interest to all of you, that I am interested in as a voter, as a citizen, as a resident. Hey, Clayton, what's happening? Laurie, thanks for coming back. Billy Kaneolani, Raja. My favorite day of the week is. Thank you guys for coming back, man. I tell you, whenever this thing broke, I always think, I wonder if they're going to come back, and they do. You guys always do. Norman, thank you. And Wendy, Lou, Martin, aloha. So that's what we do. I try to find, again, I apologize. Today was a busy day. Again, Pat said we got to get her surgery done. So I was running around and then get back home. Very little time to prepare for today. So I try to skim some of the articles and try to find what I believe is interesting and that we should discuss. So this one popped up, and although it's not surprising, it is alarming. Nearly 200,000 Hawaii residents living in poverty. 192,000 people living in islands are living in poverty, according to a new Census Bureau estimate. Now, I think that's conservative. Hey, Paul, what's up? Kealoha and Myra. Yeah, still get your ticket, Kealoha. Sorry, I got to get to you. Pickup is next week, so I'm going to go ahead and message you after this, and we'll hook up and get you that ticket. Charlene, what's happening? So like I said, while it's not surprising, it's alarming. 192,000 people, I think it's more than that, I think it's more than that. I know a majority of the people on Kauai, I believe, live in that poverty based on of income, cost of living. But that puts us at 13 almost 14% of our population is living in poverty. Shameful, shameful. Hey, what's up, Billy? And higher than the national average, and it's the 13th highest rate in the country. 13 out of 50 states. So, and we know that. I mean, most of the people that I know, are living paycheck to paycheck, and they got to sacrifice something to pay their bills for that month. I just saw a post today from someone said, "Well, I just paid all my bills. I have $2 in my checking account, but I have paid all my bills." And it's sad. Yeah, it's sad. And again, 192,000. I believe it's more than that. I really do, just based on my personal experiences, and traveling all over the country. I know. I think Hawaii is probably higher, but maybe there are some states that are worse off. But the cost of living here is ridiculous, and the cost keeps going up. I think the cost of government goes up. When government charges higher taxes and fees, what does that do? That just passes on down into the private sector for the citizens. My two kids live. You guys all know this. My two kids live in Oregon. They're doing well in Oregon. They would not be doing well at all if they were here on Kauai. Now that's shameful. It's sad because when our kids have to leave because they have no choice. I wish I was rich. I wish I had land. I wish I had money. I wish I had so much to give my kids to allow them to stay here, but we don't. And most of us fall into that same category. And it's sad. It's sad that our kids got to leave their home so they could make a life for themselves. And I think that's where the frustration comes in. So whenever people talk about taxes and increasing taxes or fees, and many political leaders, they toss it out like it's not a problem. Well, it's only another $20 a month. Oh, it's only no. If you don't have it, you may as well make it $1 million. If you don't have an extra $20, then you may as well make that guy with the $2 in the checking account. What if the tax was only $20 more? So what? If it was $5 more, he couldn't do it. Am I saying that these political decision makers better start putting themselves in the shoes of the normal people? I think that's what I'm trying to say. Look at my dad. I'd love to go back to Kauai, but can't afford to live there. My dad moved a long time ago. Got to be over 40 years now, living in Seattle and doing very well for himself. But he had to move. I own my own business and still have to work a part-time job to make ends meet. Trust me, Eric, I know all about that, buddy. That's a sad reality. Hey, Loveland and Makani, aloha, you guys. So it's a matter of, where is that balance? Yeah, where is that balance? You see, government has no problem with increasing the size of government. Yeah, because they know they don't have a bottom line that they got to worry about because they raise taxes, they raise fees, they cut services. We keep growing and growing and growing, and I'm not just talking our county. I'm talking about the state. I just canceled med alert items, funeral insurance to help others who cannot pay rent, food. Bingo. And no one can get assistance because the state says they make too much money. Absolutely. How can the Census Bureau say you're in poverty, but the state says no, you're not? No, you make too much money. I personally know people that are in that place where you make too much for assistance, you don't make enough to go rent a house. What the hell are you supposed to do? Sup, Makani? So very true. I'm thinking about moving to the mainland too. My dad is always telling me to move where he is. I can't even afford to buy my own house. Christina, that again, my son just bought a house. He closed, I think, 2 weeks ago. I don't know if this thing will show. Hang on real quick. I don't know if does this thing show? There. Can you guys see that? That's him standing in front of the new house that he just bought. 28 years old in Oregon, Beaverton. 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2-car garage. You have to go to Oregon for that. The kid born and raised on Kauai, 7th generation. And he had to go to Oregon to live his dream. I mean, hey, Brooke, Nina, Shane, we're $100 over their income limit, no EBT for us. Starving at the end of the month. Luckily, I'm not shamed. There's nothing about shame. What's up, Jimmy? How you doing, buddy? Good job the other day, man. Proud of you, and I'm proud of what's happening, guy. You gotta stand up and fight for your rights. Jimmy knows what I'm talking about. How come you skipped over my car? I guess I missed it. Let me go back. I'll go try to find it, Larry. I'll go try to find it. Apologize. This thing moves quick. More and more people comes on. It moves quick, and sometimes I miss comments. I apologize. Nothing intentional here. So, again, my point is, our kids got to leave here to pursue their dreams. And then the rich, conversely, comes here to pursue their dreams. And they do that at the expense of our kids. Sean, what's happening? Brenda, thanks for coming back, you guys. Kayla, the princess, aloha. Jimmy, always, man, I support you 100%. We're not done with that yet. We're gonna have a special topic about that. I think we'll get together, man. I'll have probably next week. I want to discuss that on my Facebook Live. Hanalei Bay Resort shafting the public with their parking out there, haven't fulfilled their requirements that were set by the county back in the 70s. They have not completed or fulfilled their conditions of their permits. And now they want to change it up, almost like what we saw at Kukuyula with the park. And this time the county is saying, hold on, you are in violation. You fix what you come in compliance before we even talk about changing. So I want to have a bigger discussion on that because I think it talks about our process. Hey, Daniel, Anavik, what's happening? Angela, I live in Creswa, Oregon. Oregon, there's some places in Oregon that's a little more expensive, but the bottom line is this: you can be a single person with one job in Oregon, and you can purchase a house. What's up, Sherry? Thanks for coming back. All right, hold on here. I gotta wrap this up because we only got 5 minutes left. So again, we gotta get a handle. Government has to get a handle of our spending so that it's less of an impact to live here for our local residents. I know a police officer here, came from Honolulu, worked in Seattle for 2 years and now can buy his home. Absolutely. It's just, you hear so many stories. I moved to the mainland to build a business for my kids who live on Kauai. Yeah, I respect you guys for doing that. You got to do what you got to do. I wish I could do more for my kids. I just can't, man. We don't come from a wealthy family. Edie, what's happening? Okay, and I'm going to end with this story, and we'll get to the Jones Act. I think we'll do it next week, Larry. Remind me, we'll do it next week because I want to have a thorough discussion. Russ Nakamura, Kent Makaala. You saw it in a paper, I think there was a discussion on the anti-spiking bill. The council wanted to pass a bill or send a bill to the legislature to control the spiking, the retirement spiking. Bottom line is this: if you work for the county or you work for the state, and you rack up your overtime, your retirement is based on your salary plus overtime. That is equating to millions and millions of dollars in retirement expenses that the county's got to put up. What's up, Bob? Adam, welcome back. And it's out of control. And it's not everybody. It's the firemen, it's the policemen that are getting these overtimes that the county has to pay the retirement benefits on. That's really costing a lot of money. So the council said, hey, you know what? A few years ago, the legislature passed a law that says from today, everybody that comes in a county from today, going forward, cannot use your overtime to be calculated into your retirement expense. Now, why didn't they do it for everybody? The unions came in and said, oh, you can't do that because you cannot take away something that was what that they already had. Well, I disagree. I would be willing to challenge that in court. I think when your counties are going broke, when your counties cannot afford, and there is a genuine hardship, then you need to be allowed to adjust the way you pension. Well, anyway, good night, Dad. Love you. Clayton, what's happening? Yvette and Roland. So the council came up with this, and 2 weeks ago they couldn't get to a vote because there was a 3-3 tie. 3 of the council members, and I can't remember who it was, 3 of the council members said yes, 3 of the council members said no. It came back today for a final vote, and I don't know why, but 7 of them, or 6, Arrow kind of sure wasn't there, 6 of them voted to kill it. So all 6 from last week was 3-3, today 6-0 to kill. And I don't know why, because there was absolutely no discussion. But that is killing us financially. And I love my brothers and sisters in the police force, and I love my brothers and sisters in the fire department. But listen, when we looked at the overtime expenses, it was very obvious. It was obvious that these employees that were getting close to retirement, 3 years out, the overtime doubled or tripled. All of that gets equated into the retirement pension. And all of that gets paid forever. So this anti-spiking bill needs to be heard at the legislature. But it's not gonna come from Kauai. They voted it, they killed it today. 6 members killed it. I don't understand why. I'm gonna find out, because from last week to this week, something happened. The unions must have called them and said, you guys cannot do this. Whatever the case is, well, we're going to sue. We cannot continue to fund these exorbitant overtime expenses and retirement expenses. The state, we're already being penalized because the state has fallen so far behind in paying out their pension benefits. All the counties now are paying into this system to fund the state's retirement. It's wrong. And I was so proud of this county, this council, for coming up with that bill. And I was kind of disappointed today because it didn't pass. 6 members voted no. Voted yes to kill it. So it's not going to the legislature. And I'm hoping that another county does. I hope our legislative delegation steps up for the people of Kauai and say, hey, we need to control these expenses. So you work your whatever your salary is, because the way that the county and state retirement is you get, let's say for police and fire, you get 2.5% per year. So if you work 25 years, you retire, you get 75% of your salary for the rest of your life. And that's your average of your 3 highest years of salary, annual salary, including overtime. So, we're bumping these pensions up tremendously. I mean, 6-figure retirement checks. And again, I love the guys, I love the gals, but bottom line is, as the legislators at the state level and the county level, we got to make decisions that's fair for everyone. And that's where I was hoping that this thing would have passed today, but it didn't. So we'll follow up on that. It's 6:30, guys. Thank you again for joining us. If they show they're spending more, they will get more for next fiscal year. Well, again, it's we the people gotta we gotta hold our decision makers accountable. That's the bottom line. And we, like I said, we can do it on Facebook, and we can vent on Facebook, and we can post screenshots on Facebook. But unless we get involved, unless we are submitting testimony, unless we're showing up at council meetings or at least submitting testimony, you're not being heard. Bottom line. So that's why we do this. We try to educate and inform. So hopefully you guys get a better understanding of what's going on and what helps you. Mel, the Mariners winning. Awesome. I hope they finish up. Jeanette, Samira, Teresa, Koki. We're going to head out. It's 6:30. Thank you guys very much again. Again, prayers to all of the families, 9/11, the bombing, and the terrorist attacks. And for all of you guys, man, you have a great evening. Take care. God bless. We love you guys. We'll see you next week, Wednesday, 5:30 to 6:30. Take care.